Brighter Shores is a new point-and-click MMORPG from one of the lead developers of RuneScape, and just like RuneScape, it has some of the most grindy progression systems in the genre. I've played this game pretty much every day since it came out, and I'm having a ton of fun. I feel like I'm learning something new every day. I'm almost at level 400, and today I just want to go over a full beginner's guide and share some big tips and tricks that I wish I knew sooner that would have probably saved me a lot of time early on. There's a lot of hidden secrets and hidden things tied behind certain quests or behind having your skills at a certain level, such as ways to quick deposit all of your items into storage when you're not near the storage, systems that you can unlock to give you big daily rewards, and then massive tips for power leveling your professions. So let's get straight into this. So the number one tip if you're new to Brighter Shores is to progress the main story as a priority. I'm not telling you how to play, and you can stay in the first zone for 100 hours if you want to, but if you want to progress fast and you want to save yourself some time, there are lots of quests in the early zone that asks for very high levels of like fishing, foraging, cooking, and it might be tempting to stay there and grind them all out, but there are very good reasons to unlock all of the zones first that I want to get into. Firstly, you can unlock crafting that helps you make gear for all zones, making your combat professions level faster. You can unlock professions in Zone 4 that can make you tons of silver, which can be helpful for buying items to level your professions faster or for using the enchanter to make your tools give more XP, things like that. You can also unlock some quality of life features that make doing the skills in the earlier zones much faster, which we'll be talking about in this video of how to quick store your items. And certain items from the later zones are needed for professions in the earlier ones. Next tip is should you save or sell your items, and it's to know when to do which, and make sure that you save items you need for later. So if you click on an item, you can view its information, and this will tell you what you need this item for and what zone it's used in. So you'll have a thing at the bottom left and the bottom right, they're the zones, and then it will tell you in the description what the item is used for. If there's nothing there, that means the item has no use other than being picked up. So that's when you sell the item. However, lots of them will have information on them of what to do. So if we look at fishing, for example, some fish will just say that they can be fished, so they can be sold straight to the vendor. Certain cooking items that have no use can just be sold straight to the head chef. But lots of other items that you gather or craft can be used either in that zone or for professions in other zones. So it's important not to sell them. All items that are needed for crafting have their own storage container as well, somewhere in the game. Potion regents go in the alchemy room, fish needed for cooking can go in the restaurant. In Zone 2, log pines that you craft with carpentry can be stored in the plank storage just in front of the building at the little cart. Bones that you pick up with the gathering skill in Zone 2 can also be stored in the bone cart, which are again used in Zone 3. So yeah, you can save yourself a ton of time if you just, as you're gathering, as you're crafting, you're storing stuff away that has a use for something else, rather than get into, say, episode 3, unlocking a profession, and realizing you need logs from Zone 2, or you need items that you could have gathered in Zone 1 or 2. So yeah, something just to be aware of as you're progressing through the game and progressing through the story. Okay, the next tip is probably the most important thing in this video, and if you learn nothing else and you take nothing else from this, this is something to be aware of. This is the most important quest in the game. This is a quest that will make the rest of the game so much easier. And it's a quest in the second episode, Hope Forest, called Spider's Nest. During this quest, you will earn a new spell called Storage Rift. This lets you open a portal at any of these strange stones that you discover on the map. So these are like small stones all over the map. You'll have seen them probably. And it lets you open a portal here and just drop all your items there, and it will store them in its relevant storage. So if you've got an inventory full of logs, you go to one of these stones, it will automatically go to the carpentry storage. If you've got food on you, it will automatically go to the restaurant, and so on. So getting this quest done early will save you so much time when you're gathering later on. You'll get this side quest from Toblerone at Cliffside Path, and it's about saving somebody from a big spider. It will require you to do lots of different things, but you don't have to do everything to get this spell. I'm going to link the wiki down below if you need a step-by-step full quest guide, but the main requirement you're looking to do is to craft an anti-acid shield. This needs carpentry at level 32, so you want to be grinding carpentry to 32 as soon as you're ready to go through with that. And getting this part of the quest done will let you go to the new zone and teach you the Portal Rift spell. A tip for grinding carpentry is you can just buy the logs from the vendor right in front of the carpentry place. So you can just go buy logs, craft them into planks or pines, and then put them back in the storage and the plank storage right in front of the building. Just churn this out, just sit there and churn it out, put all of your knowledge points back into carpentry, and you will just fly to 32 and get this spell unlocked. And it's a game changer. It will make the rest of the game so much easier. Okay, now let's talk about knowledge points and a knowledge point trick. So as you start leveling in Brighter Shores, once your first skill hits level 20, you will unlock the knowledge point system. This gives you a bar at the bottom of your profession window that fills up whenever you do any activity. So combat, gathering, crafting, anything you do, it will fill up. Once it hits 100%, you will get a reward. You can either unlock a passive AFK ability, this is something you can just go and do an AFK and you'll get very small amounts of experience, or you can turn that knowledge point into silver or XP. I would say the silver rewards are not worth it unless you're in the very early part of the game and you can't afford to buy the tools, then you can do that to get a bit of quick silver. But the XP reward is what I want to talk about. This gives you 25% of a level of any profession you have over 20. So even if your profession is like level 50 and you get a knowledge point, that's 25% of that level, which is huge because the experience bars start to get really, really big. The amount you need for each level just keeps on getting bigger, which means you can level something easily or fast and funnel your XP towards something that is either hard or expensive. For example, one of the easiest ways to do this is to look at the crafting professions. Things like alchemy, cooking, carpentry. You can buy the resources from the vendors right next to you. You can craft the items and then sell or store the finished products right next to where you crafted them. This builds your knowledge bar very, very fast. If we look at something like vegetable stew or omelets, these are single ingredient items. So you can go to the vendor, buy a full inventory of, say, vegetables, cook up 24 batches of vegetable stew, and then sell that all straight to the chef and go again. As you're doing that, your knowledge bar will just fly up. It will just keep going up. You're leveling your cooking, your knowledge bar is going up, and every time your knowledge hits 100, you can gain 25% of a level in any other skill in the game that you have over 20. I would say cooking's really good for this because there's a lot of one ingredient recipes like vegetable stew, bass. If you fish bass, save it all and then cook it all. It's one item, goes into one thing or two things, and then you get a full inventory out on the other end. So yeah, really, really fast that way. Alchemy is also pretty good, but most of those are 2 ingredients. And again, carpentry's pretty good as well. Okay, now with the skills leveling all the way to 500, here's another tip to level up faster. So if you open up a profession, you can see these icons next to them. The left tracks where the item is. As long as you've clicked on it and discovered it, you can then use this to find where it is anywhere in the game. But the one on the right shows if you have discovered that info card of the item yet, which means have you gathered or crafted it before, ever, once. And that's important because you get a little boost of XP the first time you gather something or craft something. So try and go around and grab everything or craft everything at least once for this little bulk of XP. Another good trick is with the XP potions. So you can buy these from the alchemy shop, or you can make them with alchemy if you level it high enough. And these come from 5% XP boost for 2 minutes or 10% XP boost for 2 minutes. And on the surface, you look at that and you go, 2 minutes, not even worth it. And I pretty much agree. They're very, very small and not very long. So they're not even sometimes worth having them on you. However, these potions also work with the boost we get from the knowledge points. So once you get a skill to 20 and you start building your knowledge points, you can put a big chunk of XP into any skill in the game and it gives you 25% of a level of any skill you choose. And that is increased further if you have a potion active. So the trick here is, I'll show an example. You can see here, I'm blacksmithing, and if I use my full XP bar here, I use my knowledge point, transfer it to XP into blacksmithing, I get 5,098 XP for blacksmithing, all in one go. However, if I just open the inventory now, use a 5% potion, this is the lowest potion, take this right now, you end up with 5,353. Which is a massive increase. And then this potion will again last 2 minutes, so you can keep on crafting and get even more of a benefit from that one potion. So yeah, I'd say normally potions are kind of maybe not worth it. But if you combine them like this, you get so much value from one potion. And if you go all the way up to like the 10% XP potions, it is so worth it. Finally, let's talk about a part of the game that you might not even be aware exists. It's not explained and it's not even available until you find it. And that's bounties and ventures. So bounties are easier to find. They're unlocked fairly early on. You can get cooking bounties at, I think, level 9 cooking, where you can take cooking deliveries, you cook the food, deliver it out to people in the town, and you get a good chunk of XP and silver, which is helpful in the early game. In Act 4, you can unlock trading bounties, where you can trade items across different vendors for big amounts of silver. But on top of this, there's also ventures, which are not obvious. I know of a couple right now which I'll talk about, but let me know in the comments if you found any more of these. So in episode 4, if you look through the trading profession, some of these have a little hourglass next to them. The first one being grapes at level 21. So if you scroll down, there's lots that have this hourglass, and these all unlock ventures. So if you go to the grape vendor just outside of the town, you can send this vendor on a venture. This is a 24-hour venture where you pay him a small amount of silver, it's like 8 silver, and he'll return in 24 hours with 20 grapes. And I believe this is the only way to get this other than buying them directly from the potion vendor. These grapes are used for making XP potions in alchemy. So it's a really good idea to send them out every day and just get a big load of these. Just get a big bulk of these items. Even if you don't have the alchemy level now, as soon as you can do this, you should, because you will build up a big bulk of them for when it's time to level alchemy, when you get to that level. On top of this, you get a massive chunk of trading XP. So even if you don't care about alchemy and don't want to level that, and don't care about the items you get, it's still worth it for the trading XP. So yeah, it's worth doing these each day just for that. There's also a mining venture that you unlock after completing Mantuban's Legacy in the 3rd zone, which rewards a ton of mining XP each day. So yeah, try and unlock these ventures and have them going out often. Again, we're very early into this game and people are still finding new things every day. So let me know if you found any more of these. But that's pretty much all the big things I wanted to talk about. I'm sure there's still lots of stuff to discover. So if you know of anything else, let people know in the comments. I think this game is so much fun and I can't put it down. I feel like every day something new's discovered and it's so fun being here early. If you want more Brighter Shores content, tips, guides, then do subscribe to the channel for more. But that's it from me. Take care and I'll catch you in the next one.